Welcome. This is the student expose for students at Boise State University. What is your name? Thank you for coming on the show.
Amber Zacharisen.
Nice to meet you. You were just kind of handpicked out of the hat, more or less. And so, I understand you're in the education department. Can you tell me about that department through your major?
Yeah, so I'm in the elementary education program. There's a lot of different branches. I started in 2011. I'm not a traditional student anymore. I took 5.5 years.
Oh no.
Didn't graduate in 4. What do you want to know about the program specifically?
Let's talk about like the rigors of what it takes to be, I'm assuming a student, not more just like a teacher for future children, young adults,
Yeah.
what you're gonna go for.
Okay, well, it's an intense program actually. You go the first couple years getting all the background stuff, taking all these different classes from anywhere from little math things to geography, to geology, like all across the board. And then you have to apply for your professional year. And they have a lot of requirements for that. And then once you're into your professional year and you've gone through the interview process and you've spoken with all these different people and you get accepted, you get to start your internship, which is a lot of fun. They place you in a school, and then that's when you finally feel like you're actually in the education program.
Yeah.
And then student teaching, there's a lot of big projects that they have you do throughout, and then it's kind of smooth sailing from there. So.
Was it hard for you, or is it easy, or is it,
It can be challenging. You have to have a pretty high GPA. They want you to be at a 3 point, I think it's a 3.0. It might have changed now. 3.5.
Okay.
I can't remember, honestly. But they want you to be at a certain level for that. You have to take different praxis exams and score at different levels, showing that you're at the Idaho state standards for that. And there's about 6 of them in total. And then after you pass like the first initial 4, you have to work on an endorsement. And so for me, I personally chose literacy to work on because I wanted to work on teaching younger kids how to read. That's where my passion lies. And so you take a test showing that you are, again, at the Idaho State level for that. And then just a lot of tests and a lot of interviews. A lot of interviews. Like if they don't think that you're ready to be a teacher, or if you're not qualified, they're pretty nitpicky about getting into the program. So.
Well, that's refreshing to hear, because the quality of teaching is important, and
It is.
Being through different school districts myself, from back east into the Midwest, there is a bit of a difference. And I guess I wanted to ask you, kind of like, you picked literacy and you're really passionate about it. What makes you so passionate about it? Is it maybe something to do with like the rate of children's literacy skills is low, or?
I think one, it's a passion of reading myself. I love reading. And I think it's kind of getting looked over. Scores are lower, and even at the school that I'm in now, we were so low in reading. It's kind of like teaching those basics all over again, and we're even in 4th grade. And you need to be able to read in order to do everything. You need reading, no matter what. So I think when just thinking about literacy and children's books, can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. I love it.
So to get a little bit more specific, like, do you use your own strategies from basically what you feel like you can connect with, students to make them learn, or are there applications that you're being taught through Boise State as a university to apply yourself and make kids successful with literacy?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. The department definitely sets you up for success in giving you the resources and tools that you need, different ways of measuring that growth, and just different resources for providing different strategies to help maybe students who are new to country, so your language learners, or maybe you just have there's a lot of the refusal to want to learn, which is kind of crazy. Like I didn't realize it as much going into the program, but that want to learn, that plays a big role. But they set you up with a lot, and then you kind of throw in your own spin and your own mix on it when you're teaching. You see what works with children, you see what does not work at all, and you reflect on it and you grow and you change it along the way, the entire way actually.
Well put. I think it's interesting, to me. Are you making judgment calls, per se, like with each individual student or your class as a whole? It's like, well, I think my students might benefit from teaching math or continuing with social sciences, but then we can get back to math maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, or something along those lines.
Yeah, so you do make a judgment call. It's kind of what it comes down to. You know where and where you need to be as a class and what you need to teach within the quarter. They the Idaho standards, they give you a section on where you need to be, right? So you know that by, let's say for math, like for our students now, they need to be able to multiply 2-digit by 2-digit numbers by the end of this quarter, and this quarter is ending really soon, and so we've been making the different building blocks for them, to get them there. So we know where we need to end up, but also I think that even becomes tricky because sometimes we're not ready for that, like as a class we're not all there, so then you do make that judgment call. Do you spend more time working with them and making sure that they understand what they're doing and why they're doing it for an extra week, or if they can kind of get it, do you move on to the next subject because they're almost there, like they almost have it, so now we're going to move on to the next piece because that's where we need to be.
Amy. 5. Let go. Wow, mine is doing awesome. 6. 7.
Oh my gosh, my
8. No! Go here really quick. Get it.
No, it's too heavy.
Come on. I believe in you. Come on, Maya.
It's not working.
Come on, Apple.
Stupid thing.
Don't let me do this.
Cooperate.
Don't let me do this, Maya.
No, hurry.
Okay, so we do this and get it.
All right, we're done. How many?
Wow, guys.
How many did you get?
8.
Way to go.
So far, this has been a very informative conversation about, how you're looking at your major and apply for the future. So let's talk more about the future.
Okay.
With the future on the rise, because you're currently student teaching, which is
Yes.
really exciting.
Very.
So do you have a certain school that you're interested in teaching?
Currently, yes. Thinking about graduating, it's a little nerve-wracking because through the program you have somebody right there next to you almost like the entire way. Like you never feel like you're left alone. You always have someone. And so I've started applying for different positions. It's a little bit more challenging going into a third quarter, so it's going to be that Christmas break for all the students. So trying to find a full-time position is daunting. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. My first plan was going to be to just full-time sub, find full-time sub teaching positions and kind of get my foot in the door that way. But some opportunities have arose, and I'm thinking it'll probably be in the Nampa School District. And then from there, it's kind of up in the air. I always wanted to do the Teach Across America program. I've thought about that for a while just to get some more experience in different states and help out in different ways, but I'm not really sure yet.
Okay.
It's very, very up in the air. But I know for sure I wanted to teach in Idaho because I've been working the last 5 years to earn this Idaho certificate, so I should probably
Yeah.
apply it. Yeah.
So is there a particular grade that you have your sights set on? Like, are you looking for munchkins? You want the high school level, junior high? Yeah.
I really like working in the primary grades, so my experience has been in first grade and fourth grade. 2 completely different experiences, both amazing in their own ways, but I definitely like working with the littles. So my heart is set on first or second. But it's funny kind of how life and opportunities take you in different directions. The job that I'm applying for is for a third grade position. I don't have any experience necessarily in that grade, but I know enough about it to be qualified and to take on that role, and it'll be new and exciting. But someday I can definitely see myself back in a first grade classroom with the littles because that's where my heart definitely lies. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the time that I have for this segment. So thank you for being on the Boise State Student Expose.
Thank you
And,
for having me.
Yes, thank you so much.
Perfect.
Okay.